Good morning, and thanks for joining us. I'm Veronica Brandon Miller, and this is Goodwill, Minnesota's Good News, where we share with you some of the good that's happening in our community. And there's a lot of good. In fact, we have some wonderful people today to talk about the goodwill that they are doing in the community. So we are very excited to talk to them. But first, I want to remind you, every time you donate or shop at Goodwill, you are creating jobs. And what that means is every time you clean out your closet, we take that donation and the sale of those donated goods in our store help create job training and employment for people with disabilities and others who have barriers to employment. So thank you, everyone who does donate to Goodwill. Now, our first guest, which I cannot wait to introduce you to. Many of you may know Rick Hughes. He is the Director of Community Outreach for Goodwill, Minnesota. And in fact, this TV show came about because of a radio show that Rick and I have called Tell Me Something Good on WSRQ. Again, where we share with you good people who are doing good things in the community. So.
Long time no see.
Yeah, exactly. Would love for you to talk about your role as Director of Community Outreach for Goodwill, and particularly, I'm leading to something, the Ambassador Program.
Great. As the Director of Community Outreach for Goodwill, it's my job to go out into the community, tell people what Goodwill is all about, what we do, how we do it, why we do it, because we have so many misconceptions. People know us as a place to shop or buy, but they don't understand that we are mission related. So everything we do goes toward our mission to change lives through the power of work. So we turn those donations into funds to pay for services and to pay salaries for the 860 local employees that we have.
Yeah, and with the help of spreading the message, we have wonderful ambassadors, and actually we have a wonderful ambassador with us. We'll talk to you in a minute, so he's smiling like, great, I'm next. But I know we have some pictures of some of our awesome ambassadors. Right there, Lulu and Maverick from 106.5 and Phil Mancini from Michael's on East. This is a group of wonderful people who believe in our mission and actually love to go and share and help people find jobs. And they are absolutely amazing. Another one is you'll see Rick with our President and CEO, Bob Rosinski. And you want to talk about the other two?
The other two, Haley Wilgus and also Joe Rita Stevens. Joe Rita has been volunteering with Goodwill since 1972.
Wow.
She started in Indianapolis, and now she lives, of course, in Sarasota. As an ambassador, she is there constantly volunteering. She was part of what was known as Goodwill's Guild back in the day.
Right. It was kind of like the Women's Guild, but they were helping. And you said 1962?
72.
72, yeah. It's been a long time.
Our ambassadors, just like Fred, they're there to help us spread the word about what we do, but also to volunteer at events, part of our Good Readers program, part of each event that we have. We collaborate with other organizations as much as we possibly can to help spread the word, but not only to strengthen our mission, but to strengthen the mission of other nonprofits in the area.
Yeah, and it is important for people to know that Goodwill isn't just about us. And actually on the screen we were just showing the Good Readers program, and that's taking our relationship with the community and using our volunteers in such a wonderful way. So why don't you talk about that?
What is this, 2015? So in 13, we started the Good Readers program. We actually go to Title I schools. So we went to Alta Vista Elementary School 3 times, and once to the Visible Men Academy. And our volunteers, our Good Readers, our ambassadors, go there, read to the second graders, and then at the end of that period of reading, we actually gift them a book. Because statistically, kids in Title I schools or below the poverty level don't have books at home. In fact, the statistics are there's only 1 book per 300 children who live under poverty level that have any books at home at all.
That's so sad.
So we wanted to make sure that they not only enjoy the interaction with our ambassador and enjoy the pleasure of reading or being read to, but that they have a book to take home to share with their family.
One of my favorite stories is The Pirate.
I was with a second grade classroom and they read the book, How I Became a Pirate. and their teacher asked them, boys and girls, what's the genre of this book? And I thought, genre of this book? It's pirate. So a second grade girl raises her hand and says, it's illustrated realistic fiction. A second grader said that. So they are teaching them very young the importance of reading. And they say you learn to read up until the third grade, and from there on you read to learn. So you've got to make sure that kids can read as early as possible because their future depends on it and their future employability.
You know, and when we talk about Goodwill, we talk about our retail stores, but we also have 3 bookstores. We have one in Rialto, Venice. We have one 70 and Terra near 75, and we also have one on Clark Road near McIntosh. And these are wonderful places to bring the family at major discounted prices to go and pick out wonderful, wonderful books. And I'm going to have Rick talk about it later, but we had an awesome donation given to us, and that's how we're partnering with our next guest. But what else about why you love your job?
I get to see every day the people whose lives are being changed because of their jobs. We have people, as I said, 860 local employees in Sarasota, Manatee, DeSoto, and Hardee counties. And 65% of those have a barrier to employment. That can be lack of education, inability to read, inability to speak English, past felony conviction, lack of transportation, or more severe physical or mental disabilities.
Coming back into the workforce and not knowing the skills, yeah.
So we actually, it's not just a job, it's a chance to improve their lives, become self-sustaining, and that not only changes their life, it changes the life of their entire family. So it's very rewarding on a personal level when you get to meet them on a daily basis and understand that you're making a difference.
I know on one of our shows before I was talking about becoming an ambassador, and I think it's a wonderful opportunity for you to encourage all the viewers out there to become a Goodwill ambassador and join the Good Readers program or something else we do.
We would love to have you. We start always with a lunch and learn about Goodwill. So you come over to our location, we'll feed you lunch, talk about what Goodwill is, tell you what our business model is, and then give you a behind-the-scenes tour. I say I talk for a living. The people in the store, they work hard. There's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of moving parts when it comes to those stores, and I think you'd be amazed to see what goes on behind the scenes. You can go to our website, experiencegoodwill.org, to find that calendar as well as the other events that we have going on.
Yeah, and definitely reach out because one of the biggest things everyone loves is donating that orange shirt, and I want to see where that orange shirt goes and how many hands it touches and lives it changes just from you cleaning out your closet. So it is very exciting, and I encourage people to go experiencegoodwill.org and find out more about the ambassador program and how to donate your time and your resources, whatever you can. We work with our volunteers to find the perfect fit because we want to do goodwill in the community.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So with that, we're talking about the shift. And again, I'm very excited with our 2 guests, Dan McAllister and Fred Lopez, who are representing the Rotary Club and beyond. So you have so many things going on. So why don't we start with you, Dan? Talk about the Rotary Club.
Well,
and by the way, we're Rotarians too, so it's a Rotary meeting right here.
Right.
We give
Check.
makeup credit.
Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually absolutely true. The Rotary Club of Lakewood Ranch, it was established about 14 or 15 years ago, has a membership today of about 60 people. The goal of Rotary International, it's a community service club that's designed to raise revenue to help needy organizations, including, by the way, you mentioned earlier, reading. We have our own reading program through through Ted Lindenberg.
Which we work very
closely with. I understand that. And I myself read in one of the schools. And I find it not just is it good for the kids, but it's exhilarating for me too, because I get to learn a little from it. But Rotary International was founded in 1902 and is now worldwide with well in excess of 1.3 million members. I think the number of clubs today is around the 33,000 mark. So it's very well established organization.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, there's wonderful service organizations out there. And when I chose Rotary, it was mainly because it's the camaraderie of people who want to give back to the community, come together for the greater good. And what I love about the Lakewood Ranch Rotary Club is they put together the camaraderie, come together for an awesome event to raise money and a significant amount of money to help the local charities. So who wants to talk about the Wine Fest?
The Wine Fest has been responsible for raising 1.2 million over the last 13 years.
Crazy. That is awesome.
It is an awesome number. And we were really particularly proud of it because it means that we, in fact, are one of the most successful clubs in Florida for raising revenue. Virtually 100% of the revenues goes into the charities that I mentioned earlier, both locally and internationally. And this year we hope to contribute to about 25 different local charities from dividing the funds that we generate from the Food and Wine Fest to these charities.
And I know we're going to put up on the screen the two big events that you have coming up. And for those who have never been to the Wine Fest, it's going to be on November 17th, correct?
Correct.
November 14th.
The Wine Fest is on the 14th, the Uncorked is on the 11th.
The 11th. Mm-hmm. And these are two amazing events. I'm going to start with the 11th, the Uncorked. Is that what it's called?
Yes, a gala dinner being held in Michael's on East. On the 11th, from the event start commences at 6 p.m. and runs through 9 p.m. The guest speaker at the event will be Commander Bradley Smith of the United States Navy. He's retired, but the interesting feature is that for 7 years he was a prisoner of war in Vietnam. Wow. So he has some excellent stories to relate. And I'm sure he'll be a big success. Music will be provided by Eddie Tobin, and Jeffrey Kinn will be the master of ceremonies.
Yeah. Oh, fabulous. And Fred and I were talking earlier. This is a great opportunity for our viewers who might not be able to go to the dinner, but want to do something really great for those who have served for us and purchase tickets. People can purchase tickets, and you can donate it to a veteran. And I think that's wonderful. We recently did something like that. And, you know, saying thank you to a veteran and saying, you know, we would love for you to come to this wonderful dinner and thank you for your service. That is great. And how can someone get tickets for this?
Fred.
Oh.
Now it's you, Fred. Come on.
Well, thank you for inviting us, and especially both of you, because I have worked with Veronica for some time, and then I'm working now with Rick, with something else, which you already talk about. Well, tickets for the Wine Festival, you could get it.
For both the dinner and the Wine Fest?
Yeah,
so,
you could.
And that's at Suncoast Food and A&D, winefest.com. Oh, that'll be great because, like you said, this is going to be a fabulous dinner. And you said wine pairing?
Wine pairing, yes.
Mm.
And if you don't want to go online, you could call 941-780-0002.
Ah, that's not your cell number, is it?
That's not my point.
yeah, really, I had to think about it. But that sounds so fabulous. And it's on Veterans Day, and you have a fabulous speaker and then music.
Yeah, the thought behind it was it's designed to honor veterans, particularly obviously local veterans who have contributed in any of the American wars, regardless of when it was. Mm-hmm. And obviously the upside to us is that we raise revenue again for the charities I referred to earlier.
So it's it's literally doubling a donation, because if you purchase tickets to donate back to a veteran, that money also is going to charity.
Yes.
I mean, how awesome is it? Who wouldn't want to do that? Who wouldn't want to go on November 11th to the Tribute to Our Veterans Gala? I mean, that sounds wonderful. And then something else dear to my heart, right there on the 14th, that Saturday is the Food and Wine Tasting event.
Suncoast Food and Wine Fest,
Love
Saturday the 14th, 1 to 4 in the afternoon. We anticipate having about 1,500 guests at that event. That's historically what we've had in the past.
It's always sold out, so you got to get your tickets right now.
And we have 38 restaurants already registered for the event. We anticipate that they will have approximately 1,000 servings apiece, so there'll be enough food to go around. We have a number of wine distributors set up, some of which will be a direct pairing to the food that has been served, and some will just be an open wine. We also have a beer garden at the event. We have some music at the event by Kettlefish, and there will be cooking demonstrations as well, both by USF and by Aprons, which is, of course, as you know, an offshoot cooking school for Publix.
Yeah, and you wanted to talk about who else is going to be there.
You know what?
What?
WTCQ.
What?
Maverick and Lulu is going to be there.
Maverick and
Lulu.
Exactly who we were talking
It's going to
about
be
earlier.
there, and then we should be
Yes.
greeting everybody who's going to be there.
And they are just fabulous, caring people in the community. So that's a perfect pairing itself. Going to Food and Wine Fest and seeing Lulu and Maverick and Judy Gallagher.
Judy Gallagher is going to be there. We're going to have people, local chef, who's going to do
The
some cooking
demonstration.
demonstration. And Judy Gallagher is going to.
And it's fabulous. So it's not just going tasting food and wine. It's something wonderful for the entire family. You can go for the food and the wine, but then you have the food. What is that? Cooking demonstration. And it's very intriguing. And then you get to sample afterwards, which I love. You have the music going the entire time, and we live in paradise, so just having this all around. And then they have a silent auction.
Yes,
And love. And that's what I always walk away with. And my favorite is Jeremy. I'm like, guess what I won? He's like, you didn't win it. but there's, you get such fabulous things. So yes, I hope everyone goes online right now. www.suncoastfoodandwinefest.com. Definitely get tickets. Also at Publix. We totally forgot.
I had to add that all in Publix, 12 Publix store in Manatee and Sarasota have selling all the tickets.
Yes, you can go right to Publix and get your tickets.
And you could go also to restaurants like Michael and Ish.
Michael and East, I love them.
All those big restaurants, we have tickets on sale over there too.
Oh, that'd be fabulous.
Ruth Chris, I'm selling them too.
Who?
Ruth Chris.
Ruth Chris? Oh, wow. You have so many. And yeah. So you're talking about enough food. There's always enough food. I was in charge of, a few years ago, getting the restaurants.
Yeah,
And,
I remember that.
Oh, they would, email me over what they're bringing, and I'm like, oh my God, this sounds so good, so good. It's an awesome event. I hope everyone goes out. And again, it goes back to charity. And there's such unbelievable, wonderful charities that need that little extra help. And because of the Lakewood Ranch Rotary Club, they're able to provide more services in this community.
And to add to that, parking is free.
Parking's free?
Parking is free.
Yes.
There you go.
Parking's free, and are you having the little shuttle?
Yeah.
Yes, as
so
before.
that helps.
And indeed, valet parking will be free also at the Uncorked event at Michael's on
Michael's
East.
and East, and they do a fabulous job. In fact, earlier when we were showing the ambassadors, we were showing Phil Mancini, who is one of our best ambassadors. Actually, Michael Klauber and Phil Mancini just became ambassadors of the year this year. Got to plug them in because they do fabulous work. But I'm going to go back to the Rotary Club, because another project besides the Wine Fest and providing grants to charities is the dictionary program. You want to talk about that? And we have a great picture of some of the children that you help.
Well, actually, it's interesting you bring that up because today we were just heard that the dictionaries are on order for our club and should be delivered in 4 or 5 weeks. We deliver them to 5 local schools. Members, each of the dictionaries have obviously a little sticker presented by the Rotary Club of Lakewood Ranch. The idea behind it is that if they learn words, they learn to read words, and the whole concept of learning will be accelerated. As you also pointed out, how few books there are at home. A dictionary is one, and each child gets to take it home.
Yes, and they get so excited. I've been there when we delivered before.
Yeah. So we'll be doing that in shortly.
I hope they never lose that aspect. Sure, it's easy to just open up your phone and Google, but the learning process of using a dictionary or a thesaurus, that is so rich when you're growing up. So and how many schools does it go to?
5.
5 schools.
5 schools.
5 schools we cover, yes.
And that's Title I?
Yes.
Title I schools?
Yes.
But that's just your
And
club.
second
because-
grade.
Oh, that's just your
Just
club.
our club. Oh,
because
yes.
The entire district, as well as
Oh,
most
yeah,
of the
it doesn't-
Rotaries in the country, are
Oh,
delivering.
an awful lot more. I was in the Rotary Club up north, and we did it there too. So it's nationwide. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
when you go in 4 weeks to pick up yours, you're also going to get this book.
And this was
Oh,
the
okay.
donation we were talking about. So
Okay.
I'm going to let you and Fred talk about this wonderful partnership.
Fred's already been over and picked some up. I know
I
some
pick
have
up
been
about
delivered.
400 of them.
We had, I got a call from our warehouse who said a very generous donor made a donation of some books. And this is the Magic Schoolhouse, the school bus book, Inside the Human Body. So we went over to pick some up, and we thought we had 3,000. It turned out we had 24,000.
Yeah, I saw.
5 pallets.
Yeah,
of
5
them.
pallets.
So these will actually go to every Rotary Club in the district, and we're going to provide them along with the dictionaries.
Great. I didn't know that. That's
Very
super.
good way to distribute them.
Super,
I know that
yeah.
they're picking up, your area governor
Yeah.
for Rotary is picking them up tomorrow. So she'll have these in advance of the dictionaries.
Great.
First of all, the person who donated to Goodwill, thank you. That is absolutely wonderful. But this is such a nice addition because it goes back to why the dictionaries are handed out, and encouraging the youth to read, and now taking it a step further and learning the inside the human body in a fun, magical school bus ride. That's so cool.
So it's going to go to every 4th grader in Sarasota, Manatee, but then from all the way from Goodwill, Minnesota is taking the books and providing them to the Rotary District. So every student from Naples to the Skyway Bridge basically is getting a book to take home along with the dictionary.
Yeah.
So, and again, it all comes back to we have donors, we have ambassadors. They saw the need for the kids, and they stepped up and provided these books.
That's awesome. So I'm going to recap everything that we were just talking about. Thank you, Rick, for coming on and everything you're doing for Goodwill. Again, if you're interested in becoming an ambassador, definitely reach out to Goodwill, Minnesota at experiencegoodwill.org. Keep your eye out for different programs that are happening, including the partnership with Rotary. And everybody, go online right now at, what is the website for? suncoastfoodandwinefest.com to get your tickets for the Wine Fest, and also think about buying tickets for a veteran for the Veterans Dinner. And that's going to be on November 11th. Again, thank you guys. Did I miss anything that you wanted to quickly say?
One thing, we as Rotarians, yes, we do all of the things I said earlier that we do, but the most important thing we have going for us, and I think you'll agree from your experiences, we have fun doing it. And if you come to this event, you'll never have so much fun doing so much good for so many people.
Oh, you said it perfectly. Perfectly.
Tune in next week to see him.
Exactly. Again, thank you, everyone. Go to experiencegoodwill.org and suncoastfoodandwinefest.com. And thank you so much for joining us. I hope that you've learned something and that you're going to go back and do some goodwill in our community. Thanks for joining us. See you next week.